Episode of Mindful Makeup, the podcast. So, in our pursuit to talk to experts in different fields and in their own expertise, today we're talking to Jirbie Go, founder of Caticorn Dreams. Hi, Jirbie. Good afternoon.
Hi. Hello. Good
And
afternoon.
we're super excited because today is gonna be like the marriage of business and creativity, which often I think people have some kind of difficulty putting the two together. Usually creatives will be simply creative, and then usually business minded people will be purely business minded. So why don't we why don't we get things started? First of all, Jirbie, why don't you introduce yourself and your current activities?
Okay, hello guys. I am Jirbie. I am the founder of Caticorn Dreams. Actually, me along with my sisters. We started it in 2018 as a maker of shampoo bars. At that time, it was only us who was selling yung Lush Dupe. We call it Lush Dupe shampoo bars because it's super similar the way you create your Lush shampoo bars. And at that time in 2018, there was nobody else who was selling that kind of shampoo bars. Yung mga ibang brands na nagbebenta ng shampoo bars then were actually soaps that are marketed as shampoo bars. And if you know the chemistry behind it, sorry, super nerdy na, pero
Go. No, we love that here.
sige. So, it's a little bit nerdy, no? But I just want to share with everyone na the chemistry behind it is very, very different. Like shampoo on its own is slightly acidic for it to perform well to cleanse your hair. And yung soaps naman, on the other hand, is very alkaline. It's higher pH. And if you use that on your hair for a long time, you can aasahan mo na it will cause hair breakage kasi
Mm.
high alkaline products can strip your hair off of its natural oils, kaya nawawala yung luster. Hindi mo siya ma-finger comb, di ba? When you use your regular soap on your hair, di ba? Parang, my gosh, hindi na natin siya masuklay. Para na siyang buhok ng doll.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yun. And then we started from there kasi parang we recognized na, oh, wala pang nagtuturo ng shampoo bar. And then dun na nag-spin off. That's why we have our Caticorn classes. So
Okay.
with our Caticorn classes naman, that is where we teach a lot of our crafting classes, like soap making, we have candle making, maraming mga parang special interest classes.
Okay. So I think when we had our pre-interview, one of the few that you mentioned, list ko lang, just in case like
Yeah.
anyone gets interested, you have shampoo bar making, soap making, candle making, perfume making, lotion making, aromatherapy, and sniff set. Wait lang, actually, I don't know what goes on with these sniff sessions. Can you like explain quickly what it's about?
Of course, I'd love to. Okay, itong sniff session na ito, pauso lang ito. Hindi. I mean,
Is it
we
like a
had
pandemic baby?
yes, it is.
Oh,
Pero
bago lang.
yes, bago lang. It started in December 2020 when we had our first essential oil summit. So, if you guys don't know yet, if it's your first time to meet me, I am also a certified aromatherapist, one of the first here in the Philippines, actually. And with that, most of my time talaga is nakafocus as an aromatherapist. Apart from yung mga shampoo bar, all those special crafting classes, a lot of my classes in a month actually is dedicated for aromatherapy. And um, yun talaga yung parang, I would say that's my career here in the Philippines after my corporate stint. So, yung Sniff Sesh was born because nung summit namin nung December 2020, a lot of the participants wanted to have this sort of a mini congregation every month na parang, why can't we get together? Yung parang get together nga ng mga essential
Ah,
oil enthusiasts dito sa Pilipinas. So parang, doon na born yung Sniff. Grabe yung title, di ba? Sniff Sessions.
ang ganda
Singutan
though.
Sesh.
Yun talagang gusto mo sabihin, singutan sesh.
So, yun. And in that session, so it's every month, it's a monthly thing, parang monthly oil club.
Ah,
It's just 50 pesos per class. So you join in, 50 pesos, tapos we articulate 3 essential oils, 3 new oils, yung mga parang hindi mo normally makikita. Kasi the premise there is, as an aromatherapist, I want to introduce you to the oils na hindi nyo pa naririnig. It's parang
Oo
for me,
nga.
parang walang point na pag-usapan ulit natin si lavender, tea tree, peppermint. For
Paulit-ulit na
sure.
citrus, orange,
Correct.
ganon.
For sure, narinig mo na siya from your friend,
Oo.
from your sister-in-law, di ba? Parang, so I introduce new and exotic oils. Tapos I buy them from abroad, of course, in bulk. Not in bulk, but kahit mga 10 mls, 30 mls. Tapos paghahatian natin siya ng mga participants. So, bibilihin nila
Oh.
ng tigwa 1 ml. Para
Oo.
na-experience na. And then, during that class, so they will buy that prior the class kasi I normally announce it a month before the sniff sesh class talaga. Tapos, during the class yan, kaya sniff sesh, kasi nagsisinghutan talaga kami.
Oh
So, may
my
Zoom call, tapos
God.
parang, tapos yun, you can tell me what you think about the oil, ano yung mga memories na natitrigger. It's a really nice and, I would say, fruitful experience kasi yung mga recognitions and memories na hindi ko nakikita if I'm the one doing it alone, na pag-uusapan natin as a community. So, it's really fun. It's really nice.
Okay, that's so cool. Teka, before we go into the past, because I wanted to give context how you're able to do everything that you do today. Parang na-interest ako lalo sa mga ibang workshops that you do. Let's go in more to your current activities first. I wanted to join your, I think, candle making yata. So how do
Mhm.
these workshops normally go? You send kits, diba?
Yes. Okay, so pre-pandemic, 'di ba, parang we started in 2018. Pre-pandemic, we actually had a studio in Quezon City where we teach. So meron talaga kami parang 25 square meters space doon
Oh,
na doon
ganda.
talaga kami nagtuturo. Every weekend may klase kami. Soap, shampoo bar, candle making, pero yun every weekend meron schedule. Apart from I used to have also schedules outside. I do workshops with companies, essential oil companies, wellness companies, lifestyle brands, even schools. I've had workshops. So most of my weekends are really honestly dedicated to teaching talaga.
Oo.
Um, as to your question, so since the pandemic, we had to convert everything online. So doon na give birth yung mga link tree namin. Kaya may pa-link tree na kami ngayon
Oo
with
nga.
Caticorn. May
Mm.
pa-Patreon na kami ngayon.
Oh.
Before, Patreon's market was only for our non-Philippine based students. Marami din kaming mga students na OFW. Kasi they
Oh.
find our prices here really, really affordable. Parang for the same set of skills that they wanted to learn, medyo mahal pag sa Dubai, medyo mahal pag sa US, Australia. So, mayroon kaming mga Pinay who are based from abroad who are taking our classes. Meron din kaming mga students na yung balikbayan who are vacationing here for a week or two, tapos nagtitake ng class namin, tapos babalik na sa
Mm.
US. May mga ganun kaming students. So, we actually built Patreon before the pandemic, but we used it more dahil nga we had to convert everything online. And
Oo.
the way it runs is magpo-post kami, kunyari for example, if it's a Zoom class, like right now for July, we have live Zoom classes. I think ang nakaschedule this month is lotion making and candle making. And the way we do it, we normally announce these classes a month before. Kasi we
Okay.
need that time, of course, for the sign-ups and of course, to prepare yung kit. Yun yung importante dun.
Oo
Yung
nga
kit nyo.
eh.
Kasi parang, di ba, paano naman, I mean, I understand that there are classes na parang demo lang, pero the way we formulate our classes, like ako, the way we execute our classes, I always put myself in the students' shoes. Gusto ko i-execute the way na kung paano ko gusto ko siya ma-experience.
Oo nga.
So, parang kaya ako, I know na hindi ako makokontento kapag nanonood lang ako. Why would I pay for something kung demo lang? 'Di ba? Parang no. It's not
Who wants
no.
that?
Oo, 'di ba? I'd rather, I mean, why don't you just go on YouTube? It's gonna be free. Parang ganun yung
Mm-mm.
ano ko. So,
Actually,
di ba? So, I want it to be a very fruitful experience in a way that ito pinaka-important sa akin in all our classes. And you can ask any of our graduates. And I can assure you na each and every student who goes out of our virtual classroom, they are now able to execute, kunyari candle making man yan, or soap making man yan, or shampoo bar making man yan. They are able to execute the product, yung kung ano yung natutunan nila on their own without being super reliant on us. So
oo.
parang yun yung important sa akin na I'm able to explain everything, all the ingredients, kaya kong himayan sa'yo para maintindihan mo kung ano yung pwede mong palitan if you want to make your own variant, di ba? Kasi I
Mm-mm.
also understand that there are other makers, yung ibang nagtuturo, na tinuturo lang kung ano yung nasa handbook.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
parang nakakahon sila doon sa recipe na yun forever and ever. They don't even understand why ingredient A is there. Bakit ganyan yung amount? They don't. So, yun yung mga parang key points that has guided me in our classes and our programs na parang I want. Kaya nga marami kang mga OFW na student kasi yun yung value nun eh. Na they don't have to be reliant on us even if they go 2,000 miles away from the Philippines or in another continent, they are able to execute what they've learned. Kasi kahit na sila lang mag-source from their own country, kaya nilang ma-execute yung natutunan nila sa atin.
So basically, if somebody comes to you and takes, like, for example, a candle making class,
Mhm.
um, you always want to make sure that after the class they can actually create a candle for themselves. I think that sobrang cool niyan kasi when I see your posts, what you share on social media, every time you do a class, your students always have a product or something that they did themselves eh. Laging
Correct.
may ganon. So, parang, oh, sobrang cute. Like, gusto ko rin tuloy. Gusto ko
Oo.
rin. Nainggit ako. Wait, what's your next closest class na merong mangyayari?
It's actually candle making.
Oy, hoy!
I have to check my
Wait,
calendar.
hindi ba ako naka-waitlist dyan? Di ba naka-waitlist ako dyan? Hindi mo ko in-inform.
Wait, 17 is lotion making, 18 is candle making.
Oh my, okay, wait, message kita later.
Correct.
Okay, so that's how it goes. So basically, you used to have a workshop, sayang, no? You used to have like an actual workshop pre-pandemic. That's where you hold your classes. But now in the pandemic, you do an online class. Are
Mhm.
they all live or is it a recorded thing?
Okay, great thing that you asked that kasi actually we're transitioning na to all exclusively pre-recorded, all
Oo.
Patreon na. This month na yung last month namin na magkaka-live Zoom. Actually dapat nung June, kaya lang our partners in BPI requested for us to open a schedule this month
Oh.
kasi they wanted also to promote to their crowd, to their community. So okay, sabi ko sige, open tayo. So,
Oo.
yun. But we have been transitioning na all to Patreon kasi parang we also recognize that um, ang situation kasi ngayon, like there are some people na nag-work from home na meron ng parang schedule. So, they want to take the classes at their own time.
Mm-mm.
Parang live Zoom classes really worked last year and early this year, siguro ng mga Gen Feb. Pero we realized na nung March na parang meron nagsa-sign up sa amin tapos parang, oh my gosh, something came up eh. So parang medyo mas nahihirapan na sila. So
Oo.
parang most of our students or our audience, they prefer na rin pre-recorded. So yun, nag-transition na rin kami sa pre-recorded. Um,
Parang, I guess, a lot of the people already adjusted to the parang
correct.
pandemic schedule, no? So, parang nagiging busy na ulit yung mga tao.
Correct.
I think
Correct.
a lot of my classes, yung mga online classes ko during the pandemic, were also like recorded, something you can revisit whenever you
Correct.
wanted eh.
Correct. Kaya yun,
Um,
nag-Patreon na kami. So, moving forward, August, yan, pure Patreon na. Everything's on Patreon.
You can check out Caticorn Dreams on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Caticorn Dreams. So, doon nyo na lang i-check, guys, yung details and schedules ng workshops. And if you have any questions, you can always, IG ba?
Yes, please.
And
Go
you can
ahead.
follow Jirbie and get updated on Caticorn Dreams on Instagram. So, okay, so this is your current life. So, parang, ako lang, I'm just curious because a lot of like creative people always try to get into this, okay, how can I monetize my passion? But like TBH, a lot of them don't really succeed. They find themselves overwhelmed or not really thinking of the big picture. And one thing that I've always been impressed with you is para kang you're like a businesswoman in a crafter's body. So you've always had this like bigger picture. You're always on the go, always improving. And I think that's always been something to look forward to from your audience. Kasi like ako personally, when you first started, I was like, okay, si Jirbie, nag-ano lang siya. Nagsha-shampoo-shampoo na siya ngayon. But like after seeing all of the classes that you take and all of the workshops that you give out, parang, what is it? How did you do it?
So, okay.
What's your
Um,
background?
okay. So, actually, me being who I am right now is super unplanned. So, for those of you na parang nasa corporate world pa, who are on the fence of starting something on your own, I totally get that. As in, kasi if you ask me, siguro, nung teenager pa lang ako, I mean, if you ask me if I were nung 16 pa lang ako, I would never tell you na I'd have this right now. Kasi when I was in college, all I ever wanted was, when I was a teenager, all I ever wanted was to succeed in the corporate world. As in,
Bongga.
ang
Ang
pangarap ko lang
layo!
talaga, ang pangarap ko lang talaga is, basta my entire college life was dedicated, talagang dedicated, to me wanting to be in PNG. That was my goal, period. I worked my entire 4 years, 3.5 years of college in Lasal, na ang goal ko, basta pag-graduate ko, gusto ko sa PNG, period. Ganun. Tapos in school, in Lasal, if you are the top tier of the batch, you are invited before you graduate. So luckily naman, I was invited by 4 companies, and one of which is PNG, and one of which is the Kalaban. And I wanted to be in PNG so bad, so much so that I didn't submit my application, yung invite sa akin nung Kalaban. Alam niyo naman kung sino Kalaban sa PNG. Kasi ma-pride ang lola niyo, may pride ako, parang, girl,
PNG or death?
yeah, it's all or nothing. I don't wanna settle for the second best. May ganung eme ako in life. So, I didn't submit it. Even if my dad was, syempre, as parents, excited sila. Oh,
Conservative.
nasubmit mo na ba yun? Like, oo, pero hindi talaga. I didn't even fill it up. I just,
Oh my
pinipili
God.
ko lang. Ganun ako ka yabang. Kasi I wanted to set a very risky goal for myself. Yung parang ganun, parang gusto ko ma-feel na ma-hurt kung hindi ko siya na-achieve. 'Di ba? Kasi without risk, you wouldn't strive hard. Parang that's how the way I think, 'di ba? Kaya parang sabi
Parang
ko,
you
I
put
really
stakes for yourself.
correct. I really need to get this. Kundi,
Oo.
paparusahin mo yung sarili ko. Parang gano'n. Tapos, karin yung brutal.
Grabe.
So, luckily naman, I got the application. I got in PNG. And, yun, I was so happy to be in it. But then, I graduated with a degree in advertising. Tapos pagpasok ko sa PNG, I was accepted for a finance role. So may disconnect na naman.
Oh.
Stress na naman ng lola niya. Oh my God, bakit ako nandito? My mom convinced me to take the position kasi sabi niya it's easier for you to, switch between departments once you're inside the company. Sorry, that's my cat. Once you're inside the company. And so, yun, okay. Yun. So, I realized after 4 years na medyo hindi pa mangyayari yung gusto kong mangyari. The thing about me also is, I like setting goals for myself talaga. And I like to take the bull by its horns. Yung talagang may specific timeline ako na parang, okay, by year 1, dapat ito yung na-achieve ko. Year 3, dapat nandito na ako. It's clear in my mind. That's how I operate. It may sound a little rigid, no? Parang, oh my God, napaka-stuck up naman ni Jirbie.
Ang harsh mo sa sarili mo. Oo.
I understand that, pero I like structure.
Oo.
I like structure. But I will share you my story in a way na I also am flexible. Kasi look how it turned out, di ba? Parang wala ako sa corporate ngayon, but I am okay. And I know this is scary for most of us. I mean, ako rin, di ba? I'd be honest, natakot din ako kasi, wow, hindi ko in-imagine ito. But here we are, and I hope that the audience, will find something valuable in this episode. So anyway, I was in PNG and, doing my thing and enjoying. Kaya lang, I realized, in 4 years within the company, hindi nangyayari na gusto ko mapunta ako sa marketing. And so I decided, hindi ko na-carry yun. Kasi I'm very close with my managers. Always naman, I'm very open to anyone. So, open ako sa immediate manager ko and how I want my career to pan out. So, I said, ultimately, I just wanted to be in marketing. I wanted to handle brand. And at that time, beauty bloggers na tayo. Magkakilala na kami ni Tel, no? Beauty bloggers na kami. So, hindi nangyayari yung gusto kong mangyari. Sabi ng immediate manager ko, "No, you have to wait for at least 2 more years." And hindi pa yun sure kasi siyempre parang marami marami kayo, you are ranked against your kabatch, against each other, parang ganyan. So, parang then depende pa kung may opening. So, parang medyo sabi ko, "Okay, my chances of being in marketing is not as attractive right now and I cannot wait for that. I cannot spend 2 more years in this limbo." Feel ko nasa limbo talaga ako.
Wala pang guarantee eh, no?
Correct. So, yun, nag-decide ako na I had to leave. I had to find opportunities outside the company. It's a little heartbreaking kasi of course, I'm leaving my ultimate goal, college goal company. Pero you also have to think na, in order for you to grow, you really have to take risks, di ba? Na parang, okay, if I'm gonna be complacent na, oh my gosh, PNG to, ayokong umalis, parang trabahuin ko na siya forever and ever. Hindi ko rin alam na ilang years pa, di ba? And honestly, if I stayed in PNG, I mean, I love the company, super, no complaints whatsoever. I really love the way they train me, the way I operate now is how I was trained in PNG. Hindi siguro kasing robust yung track ng development ko, personal development ko. There's a different sense of fulfillment of you being an entrepreneur versus you in the corporate world.
Oo.
I know there are people na parang masaya na in the corporate world. I was in that position. I mean, di ba, nung college ako, yun lang ang pangarap ko. I honestly dreamt of myself just growing old with PNG and being a director and, just
Climbing the
claiming my
ladder.
pension. Ganun lang ang harap ko in life. Parang pension ko na, ganun. But 4 years down the line, nag-decide ako na buy PNG and then at that time, of course, it was very scary for my parents. Alam mo naman ng parents, they want you to be in a secured company and PNG is very secured, multinational yan, good pay and all that. But I said, I wanted this. I wanted to be in brand so much, so bad talaga na hindi mabibigay yun ng PNG. And so I had to take this. So nag-resign ako. Sobrang stress yung parents ko sa akin kasi bakit ko iniwan PNG ng ganun lang. Alam nila na yun yung pinakagusto ko. And I took that time for my personal development. I had no plan. So ito rin yung sa akin, siguro improvement point. Sometimes I decide without actually making backup plans. I mean, I've talked to other other entrepreneurs who were in the corporate world. They would tell me na, "Oh, I prepared for this. I saved 1.5 years worth of my salary or 2 years, 3 years worth of my, parang may backup." Ako hindi, parang ayoko na. Resign na. Bye guys, ganon. 30 days notice, tapos na. Bye na tayong lahat. Tapos I took that opportunity that's my first, I would say that's my first strike in trying to develop myself. So at that time, I was already 25. Actually, beauty blogger ako na hindi marunong mag-makeup sa sarili. So I thought that time to improve myself, to learn about makeup. Kasi parang kapal naman nito po, makeup beauty blogger, hindi marunong makeup. So I took that time, nag-take ako ng makeup classes, yung mga short courses, workshops lang here in the Philippines. And that is where I met my next boss. So, very serendipitous lang, galing lang. So I met my next boss kasi naging classmate ko siya dun sa makeup class.
Wow.
Tapos, she said, syempre, kami naging mag-seatmate. So, she was doing my makeup, I was doing her makeup. Tapos parang sabi niya, "Oh, by the way, I'm bringing a makeup brand here in the Philippines." And parang feeling daw niya, I'm fit for the position. Syempre ako yung palakpak yung ears ko. Oh my God, job offer agad.
Brand pa!
Oh my God. Sabi ko, oh yeah, oo. Hindi na ako nagpakipot, syempre. When opportunities strike that fast, go grab na.
Yan ang lesson, wag pakipot.
Correct. So parang, yeah, gora tayo dyan. So I took the offer. It honestly wasn't as high as my pay in PNG, but I also want you girls to learn na, you know what, wag kayong maging nearsighted. Di ba? Wag tayo maging short-sighted. It could have been my offer at that time was half of what I was earning. Yan, be honest. But it's okay kasi sabi ko, I needed that experience di ba? It's hard to transition from finance to marketing, honestly. I mean, let's be real. Walang kukuha rin sa akin na ibang company na either equal or up kasi masyadong magkalayo. It's super polarizing. So I
Oo.
took that position, worked hard for it for about 2.5 years. I would say close to 3 years. I handled a mineral makeup brand. At doon kami nagkakilala ni Tel. Sa mineral
Virginia
makeup brand.
Olsen.
Correct. Shout out, Virginia Olsen. Pero wala na siya now.
Oo
So,
nga
yun.
eh.
Wala na siya. Nauso kasi yung mineral makeup at that time. I think it was 2012.
Mga early, mid. Yung
Correct.
after 2010s, ganun.
Correct.
Oo.
Kasi, yeah, around 2011-12, ganyan siya. I handled Virginia Olsen for about 3 years. So, since it was birthed here in the Philippines, basically, I handled everything talaga. So, dun din naman na-hone yung skill ko. I honestly don't mind about the pay kasi parang I was thinking about it na parang this is my transitional period and this is where I will learn. I know I have the skills and the brains for marketing, but it's different when you're actually there, di ba? You can talk about
Mm.
all the marketing concepts from what you've learned in college, but as long as you don't have the experience, medyo hilaw, di ba? It's not gonna be that fruitful. So I took that 3 years, that period of my life to learn how to handle a brand from ground up, the way I would do it if it were my money, if it were my company and my resources.
Mm-mm.
So yun, I'm very much happy na naalala siya ni Tel. Ibig sabihin, more or less,
You made your
tumatak
mark.
siya. Oo,
Oo.
tumatak siya sa mga tao kasi naaalala siya ng mga tao. So yun, luckily, during also that time, we were featured in a lot of magazines. Uso pang magazine kasi noon. So may mga feature kami sa Mega, Cosmo. So every time may feature yung brand na hawak ko, syempre proud na proud ako. Ginugupit ko pa yun, tinatago ko talaga.
Oo.
90s kid na 90s kid yung ginugupit-gupit
Oo.
na. So, I kept it all kasi it's also a tangible evidence of my success, sort of, quote and unquote success.
For sure.
And then, within that transitional period, luckily, I was hired by Avon. So, yun na. That's my big, parang, ito na yung pinaghihirapan ko. I mean, this is my dream role. I was basically handling Avon Cosmetics, brand management for the entire Asia. So, that was
Bongga.
really, really, sobrang, ito na guys, ang pinaghirapan ko. At ito na yung, I left PNG for this. Parang ganun ang tawag ko.
Oo.
Di ba? Nangyari na. That was just, what, 3 years? Maybe 4 years, I would say. 3 to 4 years lang, not bad, di ba?
Oo.
Okay, this is a regional role. It's something big. So I really was happy when I got that. I was handling the entire Asia plus Australia. So kausap ko lahat ng marketing head from each country. And I'm the one reporting sa New York head office. My role there was, I am parang ako yung traffic, MMDA. Ako yung nagde-decide kung ano yung products ng global company na papasok sa Asia. So, ako bahala. Okay,
Oo.
kunyari, okay, si Australia magla-launch ng pearl makeup, nauso yung mga pearl noon, di ba? Yung bilog-bilog.
Yung
Tapos,
parang meteorites.
correct, exactly.
Oo.
So, okay, this will go to, tapos, okay, si Pilipinas, ano ang gusto nyong i-launch? Parang ganon. So, that was my role. It was a really fun role. I loved it so much talaga na parang, feel lang ko na, ito na yun, guys. Ito na.
I'm living the dream now.
Pinnacle of my marketing success, ganyan. But, unfortunately, may na naman, hang up na naman. You know, life doesn't normally go the way you want it. So, I was assigned or delegated in a very difficult boss. And it was okay. My personality kasi, I'm not hindi ako mabilis ma-offend. Medyo
Malakas
makakalimutan
loob
ko.
mo. Malakas loob mo.
Correct. Tsaka, hindi ako balat sibuyas. So, my manager then was really known to be difficult. Kilala siya doon. Medyo difficult, medyo strong personality. Ako rin naman, medyo strong personality ko. Pero may parang konti akong pa-comedy talaga. That's how I am. And hindi talaga ako balat sibuyas. So, she's the type who would yell my name every day.
Grabe.
Na maririnig ng buong tao sa floor. Parang, Jirbie, ganyan. So parang ako, oh yeah, ganun lang ako. Pero siguro kung ibang tao yan, umiyak na, tapos parang nag-resign na agad. Pero ako, okay lang, I don't mind. And with that role, I loved it so much. Even it was super physically and emotionally demanding. Kasi nga, I report for work. Basically, I lived in QC and I was reporting for work in Makati. That was 2 hour papunta na travel time and 2 hour pabalik. 4 hours travel time in a day. And then I'd spend 8 hours in office in Makati. Pag uwi ko, kakain lang ako at maliligo. Tapos I had to go online again because I had to meet with my counterpart in New York. So double duty ako every MWF yon. Meron ka akong conference call with New York office. I had to report, of course, update kung ano yung status ng mga launch. Hindi, it never ends eh. Kasi parang we plan. We plan the launch, tapos yung rin, ang dami ginagawa. And I just get my sleep for about 3 to 4 hours in a day. It was very taxing for me physically, but I didn't mind. I would also say that I'm very, very, matyaga din ako kasi. And parang, I guess I was just so happy to be in that position. It was, this is it, pansit, ganun. Ito na
Oo.
yun. So, chinaga ko siya. But I guess the only make or break thing there is, I worked so hard when I was there. Hindi pa rin na-appreciate ng manager ko. So,
Okay.
something happened there and I just got so pissed off. Nag-resign din ako in a snap. As in.
Bongga ka talaga, no? Basta pag ayaw
Oo.
ni Jirbie, aalis na
Oo.
siya.
Bye. So parang, syempre I had to say, not an excuse, but I had to provide a more rational explanation kung bakit ako mag-resign. So sinabi ko, ay, kasi my dad is already calling me out for our family business. So yeah.
Bakit ba, alam mo, can I just say, ako rin, when I wanted to leave my corporate job immediately, I was like, oh, kasi needed na ako sa family business. Kailangan na nila ako. What a convenient excuse. The perks of
Oo.
being Philchay.
Correct. So, yan. So, usually, when you show that card, family business card, hindi na naman they won't understand. So, parang, ay, okay, sige, ganyan. Wala na silang magawa. I mean, tips na rin to. You can also use na mag-aaral kayo, mag-masters kayo. May pa-tips. Or kung Chinese ka, may family business, ganyan. Or, just some very rational na parang, okay. Yung parang no hard feelings. Kung mag-resign ka man, di ba? Na parang, syempre you can't say na, oh my God, I just don't want to work for this woman anymore. You can't say that. So
Oh.
just, kasi,
Ma'am, I
my
hate
dad.
you na kasi.
So, yeah. So, I resigned and I took that time. When I resigned, yan na yung second, personal development era ko na. At that time, the idea there was also so crazy that my parents again got worried. Kasi nung nag-resign ako sa Avon, sinabi ko, okay, I wanted to be a YouTuber. Ganun ang press release ko. Shuken na naman lahat ng
Bakit?
people around
Oo.
me. Kasi at that time, it was 2015, 14, 15 siguro. Ano na yan, that was the period na yung mga batch natin, we're slowly transitioning from blogging to YouTube. Yun na yung mga panahon na uso na yung YouTube sa Pilipinas. So, ayoko nang mapag-iwanan. So, parang sabi ko, okay, I wanna take this time to be a YouTuber. Period. But I didn't want to be that rash in a way that I prepared for it. So, ang ginawa ko, nag-enroll ako sa mga social media marketing courses, sa digital marketing courses.
Dami mong inaaral.
Yes, partner ng AIM, partner ng Asian Institute of Management, yung IIDM. So, doon ako nag-aral. I took up the analytics. I wanted to learn the analytics, the business side of it talaga. So, parang ganon. Parang, I do have my rash decisions and I can, masyado akong gutsy, but I like calculated risks. So, I like learning what's the business behind it, the numbers behind it, how can you really make it work, ganon. So, yun. And with that, doon na slowly na-born yung ginagawa ko ngayon. Kasi from being a YouTuber, tapos eventually I got into essential oils. Eventually, parang it came to a point that I realized when I started dabbling into essential oils, I was the only girl who was reviewing essential oils then. Kasi yung, singot-singot ako sa screen, tapos anong amoy na to, anong ginagawa nito, ganyan-ganyan. So I was the only girl then. And it came to a point that I have an audience na who would message me and seek my advice. Kunyari, oh, I'm having migraines, tama ba itong ginagawa ko? Or actually, my biggest platform there as an aromatherapist was I have PCOS, so meron ako hormonal imbalance. And I share my experience about that. And most of my first few earlier followers on essential oils are girls who also has it. PCOS. And, I share my experience, how I managed mine. Luckily, as of last year when I had my last check, okay na ako.
Oh
So,
my God, congrats!
thank you. Yun, na-manage na siya
Oo.
eventually. Um, ayun, so that's how my channel started, and dun din kaya nagkaroon ng Caticorn Dreams kasi I teach also essential oils. Yun nga, yung mga teaching stints ko outside of my own Caticorn Dream studio is actually basically about essential oils.
Oh. Pero wait lang.
Mhm.
You're talking about all of these essential oils, women, Chinese.
Mhm.
I seem to remember a point in time where Couch Wasabi Jirbie was not actually doing essential oils. Weren't you like the vape girl for a while?
Girl, I'm so happy na naramdaman mo rin yun.
Hindi tayo dito nagsimula eh. Alam ko na
Correct.
naging vape girl ka pa eh.
Correct. Thank you for reminding that. Actually, I've never talked about this with anyone kasi parang, syempre, hindi,
Exclusive to guys, listen up.
kasi, it's just funny na now that you're mentioning it, at naalala mo rin siya, no? Kasi, yeah, yun nga, nasabi mo nga na, yan ba yung, I also asked you during our pre-interview, di ba, parang, oh my God, ganun pala yung impression yun nung nangyari yun.
It's like your parang kang bad girl stage, parang rebel girl stage.
So, ito na, ibubunyag ko na. Mawawala ng credibility ng slight joke. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, di ba na, I was transitioning from blogger to YouTuber. And I wanted to be strategic on that. So, again, I like calculated risk and I like, analyze and thinking about things. Sabi ko, if I were gonna be in blogging, transitioning to YouTube, at magiging beauty YouTuber lang din ako, reviewing makeup, I'm just gonna be like another fish in the sea. So, I don't want that. I wanted to make my mark. Gusto ko, ano pa ba dito, yung hindi pa natatap ng mga girls. So, according to my own analysis, ganyan. Based on my personal diagnosis, ganyan. Wala pa kasing vape vlogger noon. Wala pang vape vlogger sa Pilipinas. At walang babaeng vape vlogger. Sabi ko, ting! Light bulb moment. Ay, ako naman kasi also, my personality is, mahilig ako magkalikot talaga. And that's why you see me a lot with all these DIY things. Kasi mahilig talaga
Yeah.
akong magkalikot. Growing up, no, when I was very young, ito, hindi rin to alam ng karamihan at hindi alam ng lola ko ito. But when I was young, I used to sneak inside my grandmother's room at kinukuha ko yung mga Walkman niya. Walkman talaga yung mahal. Tapos idadissect ko yun, i-unscrew ko, kasi gusto kong makuha yung magnet sa loob ng
Oh
stereo.
my God.
So you can just expect sira na siya after ko.
Tatanungin ko
ibabalik
nga.
ko ulit,
Oh.
pero wala yung magnet kasi
Oh
kinuha
my
ko na
God. Oh.
Tapos isusoli ko ulit. So syempre pag ginamit, ay sira na. Tapos parang, wala, NR.
Patay mali siya. Oh, bakit kaya nasira?
So yun, ganun ako. My mom would always tell me na, medyo iba talaga ako mag-isip since I was young. Marami siyang funny, parang blooper kwento about me when you ask my mother. And I've always been a very curious child. And mahilig ako magkalikot. So yun, going back to vaping, what attracted me to vaping was, at that time, yung vaping kasi hindi pa kasing modern ngayon. Ngayon kasi parang manipis na lang, and then there are
Yeah.
cartridges. Before, it was very different. It was a little machinery that you had to build on your own. And that attracted me. Kasi parang, sabi ko, I like that. Sabi ko. And wala kasing girl na ganon, di ba? I mean,
Oo.
it was a guy thing. There were other vape bloggers abroad, usually, na lalaki mostly. In the Philippines, at the time when I was about to start with it, yung parang I was toying the idea of being a vape blogger. Isa lang yung vape na guy na nag-YouTube, but hindi rin siya nagre-review. Yung parang pinapakita lang niya na nag-vape siya, very casual.
Oo.
So what I did was, okay, definitely I'm gonna be that. So I'm gonna capture that niche. So, okay, vape vlogger na ang pagka-package ko sa sarili ko ngayon. So I became the vape blogger. I left vlogging world to be in YouTube, to be a vape vlogger. Tapos, ito rin, another secret. So, I don't really smoke. So, saan ka nakakita ng vape vlogger na hindi nagsusmoke? Ito lang. Only here.
Intense mga girl.
So I had to learn everything about it. So I had to learn how to build my own vape. It was easy for me to learn about vaping, pero it was hard for me to learn how to hit and
To
buga.
actually
Without,
vape.
so, kung papansin nyo yung unang mga videos ko, maraming cuts doon. Kasi bawal, i-edit out ko yun. I-edit out ko yun to provide my audience a very sensible video.
Walang yato. Walang yato. Nagpaka-vape vlogger. Di naman pala nag-vape. Wait lang, hindi ba may hika ka?
Yun na nga. So parang, buti naman, hindi siya natitrigger nun. Kasi parang, I always ask about yung juices na walang nicotine. So yun lang yung parang, ano ko sa kanya. Yun lang yung
Is it the
parang
nicotine that triggers asthma?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
is.
okay.
Oo. So, as long as walang nick, okay ako. Nare-review ko siya ng mas maayos. Pero pag may nick, kahit 3 nick lang, I cannot. It's impossible. Masakit siya sa akin. So, yun. I did that for a while. I did that until I crossed the YouTube standard for me to monetize my channel. So, once nakatawid na ako dun sa 1,000 mark, X number of watch hours, slowly, I shed na. Parang, ayoko na yan. Kasi I honestly just did that for that purpose. Sorry, vape fans.
User!
I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my God! Hindi.
But there's a silver lining there, Tel. Kasi, what I'm really happy about that was, ngayon, meron ako mga followers who have been with me since then, since those vape vlogging times. And they leave comments na, I have been a follower since we're vaping, and ngayon, I'm also an oiler. So parang, wow, sabay kaming nag-transition. Para kaming, the emancipation of Jirbie. Parang Mariah Carey, metamorphosis. Ganun.
Wow, oo, talagang naging butterfly ka.
Yun. So yun, that's the story there. Thank you for bringing that up.
Nakakatawa ka.
Actually, confession moment to.
Nakakatawa ka. Hikain na hindi nagve-vape, tapos naging vape vlogger, tapos ngayong nakuha mo na yung gusto mo. No, but I think, seriously, I think that's part of I think that's part of your magic, diba? You try a lot of things. So, syempre, some of them is bound to work, diba? And that's how you're really actually building yourself up. Parang, you're not paranoid about failing, and I think that allows you to try better things. Like, tinan mo, if you were nagpabebe, like ako, I would be pabebe na parang I couldn't vape. Pero tinan mo, ikaw nag-vape ka, and now I'm not even monetized yet on YouTube, but you are actually monetized na, and you can now post whatever you want.
Correct. So yun then, I guess another learning there, sorry, I'm cutting you. Another learning there is, don't box yourself. Just explore. Yun lang talaga. Kasi once you limit the only limitation in life is yourself. Yan. Always remember that, guys. Kasi had I been so fixated of being in the corporate world, being in PNG and growing old in PNG, I wouldn't discover the things that I'm doing now. I wouldn't discover na, okay, kaya ko pala maging entrepreneur. I can monetize the things that I enjoy, like teaching, or candle making, like si Tel. I'm encouraging her actually to have her own workshop.
Oo nga. Soon, guys, launching. Kasi with great advice from Jirbie, like, it's really coming together. Actually, before, because Jirbie and I have known each other for a really long time na, but ni naman kami super duper duper close. We actually only recently reconnected because of Pili Ani. We worked together kasi ayan nga, I know Jirbie has been a certified aromatherapist, so Pili has a lot of activities with oils, and I was like, these two should meet each other. So yun, so in that process, Jirbie and I reconnected, tapos kamustahan, and she's actually giving me a lot of great advice about how to do workshops for resin crafting. So before, it was just like sobrang far away dream siya for me, like, but since si Jirbie is like really gutsy, medyo naging na-push forward yung timeline ko. So anyway, that's so nice kasi it comes back to our moral lesson, the only limitation in life is yourself. Ganda niyan. Okay, so moving forward, ano yan, going back to the topic, sorry. Tuwa ako masyado.
Ayan. So, yeah, so that is how Caticorn was born. Kaya ako naging into teaching, kaya ako nagtuturo yung mga workshops, kasi it's also a carryover of my own personal interests. Like, candles is something that I've enjoyed since I was in high school. Shampoo bars is, it's Caticorn's anchor product, so we decided to teach it. Soap making is my sister's, she's been making soap since she was in high school. So parang dun kami nag-start. Talagang personal interests namin siya that we wanted to
Mm-mm.
share our learnings and experiences to others.
Okay, so that's sobrang interesting. Okay. And then after, okay, so eto pala. So for me, actually when I first heard about you doing parang all of these like craft-like classes, parang for me, oh, it's just another like, alam mo yun, parang there was a time where people were doing trying whatever lang eh, kung ano-anong workshop na yung sinisimula ng mga beauty bloggers. And I was like, oh, okay, it's like one of them. But actually, parang yours is distinct because it's really true to who you are. Alam mo yun, feeling ko yun nga talaga yung hobbies mo. And actual institutions are partnering up with you. You're actually, sino ba, di ba marami kang ano, you're not just doing private stuff, you're also doing like partnerships with.
Yes. So before the pandemic, I actually have monthly schedules with Cordos. May monthly schedule din ako with Casa de Lorenzo. I was also invited to teach at Andaran. I was invited to teach at CSB, at Xavier School, nagturo din ako doon. Marami, what else? So, yun. And then I had yung mga parang sa mga malls din. May pa-mall tour. Joke lang. May pa-mall schedules din ako for a while, for a bit. So, actually, everything naman I did was posted also on my website. That's www.podshopsabi.com. But among all the workshops that I've did, I guess the one that's the most talagang favorite of mine is when I had the opportunity to did yung parang custom blending session at Kiehl's. So, yun talaga, parang, oh my God, this is it. Ganong moment na naman, parang, oh my God, this is it. Parang ganun. Kasi, as a beauty person, di ba, parang, it's not every day that I get an offer na to be in a beauty brand event to
Yeah.
teach about oil. So, parang, it was really fun. That was during the launch of their hibiscus masks a few years ago. I think it was 2018. So, yun, that was really a happy moment for me. And since then, I have still continued taking up courses with aromatherapy. And like I've mentioned earlier, di ba na, I'm one of the few certified aromatherapists and one of the first actually in the Philippines, certified aromatherapists here in the Philippines. Hindi pa nag-end doon. Even after I got my certification, I still take up classes. Like even now, I still am enrolled with 3 more courses that I've just enrolled 3 months ago. Tinatapos ko pa siya. So yun, learning never stops. Kasi if it's really your passion, if it's what you're interested in, you'd always find a new class that you'd want to enroll with. Parang ganun siya. So, it's a two-way street. I learn
Mm-mm.
and I also give back to my oil community and to the community in general na I also teach. And that is why we have these projects and events like yung mga may snip sesh or yung mga summit, ganyan. So, yun. It's also a way for me to give back to everyone.
I think it's because you invest a lot in yourself then, no? Kasi I know like recently going like in the creatives field or freelance field myself, when I look at careers of people that I like and careers of people who I feel like have sort of washed up na sila, I think a common trend in a lot of the successful creatives is they do believe learning never stops. They invest in themselves and they keep taking classes. Yung iba kasi seem to have this sort of ego na parang ako yung magaling. Alam ko yung maganda. So, hindi ko na kailangan yung mga kung ano-anong yan. But then, eventually, like, the well runs dry, diba? Parang people will eventually stop learning from them. And I think for you, that's why it's exciting to watch your page kasi you're always, like, learning. Even if parang feeling ko, master ka na ng aromatherapy because you're already a certified aromatherapist. But still, you keep like importing new oils and like profiling new oils, and I think that's like that really really makes you an expert, especially since yung mga nasa-share mo sa tao, it's like parang this level of information, but actually you have like a higher level of information that you're always increasing and increasing. So speaking of like upping your skill sets, I saw in your stories that you're taking up new, na naman. You have new activities. Ano yung mga bago mong ginagawa ngayon?
Correct. So, actually, eto rin, I guess, like what I've mentioned earlier, I'm not really scared to try new things. And medyo eccentric ako mag-isip, parang ganun. Kasi ang dami kong interest.
Oo.
Parang kalat-kalat siya talaga. If you're able to talk to the people around me, like my significant other or my mom, even my mom would tell people na, oh my God, it's so hard to keep up with her new interests. Parang ganun lang yung mommy ko. Sometimes I'd wake up randomly, sasabihin ko na, okay, I just wanna learn how to play the violin. Tapos bibilihin ko lahat kasi
Oh my
gusto ko mangyari yun.
God.
Parang
Oo.
ganun, medyo. So right now, actually last year, I started learning how to make my own silver jewelry. I started silversmithing. I was actually in Seoul in Feb 2020. I was taking up jewelry making classes there. Right? May COVID na nun. So nakamask na kami nun actually.
Oo, Feb.
Yeah.
Pa-start na.
Meron na doon, may mga cases na doon, careful na sila doon, dito wala pa. I was there. We came back to get more clothes kasi nga I'm planning to take this 6-month-long course there. Hindi na kami nakabalik. Nag-lockdown na dito. So I left like half of my winter clothes there. It's still there. But what I did was, since hindi natuloy I took up 3 classes na. In order for me to finish the certification, I think there were 4 levels. So it was a months siya bago matapos. So may 3 classes na ako na-take. We came here in Manila, lockdown, so hindi na ako makalipad. What I did was, I trained with our local smiths here. Nag-take ako ng silversmithing classes dito sa Pilipinas. So, yun na lang ginawa ko. Parang, kasi sometimes, parang if you're in that moment na gustong-gusto mong matuto, tapos parang hindi mo magawa, ayoko ma-demotivate. So, I found work around na, okay, mag-enroll na lang ako. So, I enrolled here, and then I spent that knowledge, yung parang acquisition of knowledge, to form my own technique, my own skill. So, recently, I posted ang tawag doon, IGTV post on my Instagram wherein I was making one of yung isa sa mga friends natin in vlogging, si Jenzel. May pa-shoutout. Jenzel.
Hi, Jenzel.
She ordered pet jewelry from me. So, ano siya, it's pure fine silver. It's 99.999. So, 99.9% silver. That's the medium that I like working with. Hindi
Spoiled.
95. Oo. Pero pet tag. So, pet jewelry ang tawag natin kasi mahal yan siya.
Oo nga. Jewelry siya eh. Kasi ang resin is like way cheaper, but you can make pet tags out of resin. But if it's silver, it's jewelry.
Correct. So, yun. Another product of Caticorn. Ito siya. Wait.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you happen to have a sample nearby.
So,
with a live model.
Oo. She was sleeping. Now she woke up, gumagano siya, kaya tumutunog yung bell niya.
Patingin naman, can we have like a ayaw ba niya?
Bubunutin ko. Bubunutin. Okay, so it's like this. Oops, it's like this.
Oh, yan. And you make like engravings.
Correct. So everything is handmade.
Ganda.
This one is, kaya siya may black kasi nilagyan ko siya ng patina. So patina para makita yung details. But this one, they don't tarnish kasi it's 999. It's fine silver. Yung 925, medyo tarnish pero you can clean it. Ito naman, it doesn't tarnish at all.
Wow.
Yan. Ito, that's really patina. It's what's called patina para makita yung mga details.
Yung dark, oo.
Correct.
Ang ganda.
Suit niya forever.
Will you be doing classes on this?
Yan yung next project ko. So, kaya ako nag-post ng IGTV, kasi alam mo na teaser moment.
Oh, syempre.
So, yun. Maybe in 2-3 months, I am launching the Modern Silversmithing class on Patreon as well.
Okay, so
But
Sorry.
in case you guys are interested in learning, I have started like this Facebook group that where you can follow Philippine Metal Clay Crafters group.
Pati clay.
No, it's called metal clay kasi para siyang
Ah,
modern. Ayun yung kinukwento ko sa'yo na there's a modern way of silversmithing na hindi mo kailangan ng malaking torch. Yun.
like
That's
the
what you
whole
want.
workshop and everything.
Correct. You can actually do this indoors in an air-conditioned room, ganyan. Hindi mo kailangan yung malaking acetylene torch na para ka nag-welding, ano, hindi kailangan yon.
Oo.
Mas ano siya, mas mahinhin, ganyan. But it's really nice material. The technology is from Japan. So, medyo expensive, but it's really nice. And so it's called
Okay.
Philippine Metal Clay Crafters Group.
Ako rin kasi yung tech support eh.
Oh, Metal
Philippine.
Clay Crafters Group. And I
On
also
FB,
posted
di ba?
about it. Yeah, I posted about it on my Instagram and YouTube channel. So if you want to refer on that. Meron akong pa-time lapse so that everyone can see how easy it is. It's actually very easy. Of course, you need practice. Every skill needs practice. Even vaping, it needs practice.
Oh, kasi nung una, puro edits ka pa. But I think toward the
Correct.
end,
Towards the end,
sabi.
parang natural na.
Ka na, nagsa-smoke rings ka na.
Actually, yun yung goal ko, pero hindi ko nakuha yun.
Sayang.
Yun yung goal ko na mag-ganon-ganon, pero hindi.
Masyado,
By the way,
Oh.
one of the interests that I did, na parang nashukaning din yung mga people around me, I am also a free diver. And take note, I don't swim.
Ano ba yan? Grabe,
So, sinabi
nakakata...
ng boyfriend ko, bakit ka nagda-dive? You don't even swim. So, yun.
So, I think, bumabalik tayo, I think you really live true to the moral lessons that you preach. Wait, nandito yung isang moral lesson na yun eh. Moral lesson from Jirbie, the only limitation in life is yourself. Kahit may hika ka, you can rescue cats, you can be you can be the Philippines vape girl.
Oo.
Kahit na hindi ka marunong mag-swimming, you can be a diver.
At last year, I also started reviewing coffee and I don't even drink coffee. Ang kulit, diba?
Girl!
I'm the embodiment of oxymoron talaga. So, my friends in high school, they just wonder na parang, ano ba nangyayari kay Jirbie?
What are you up to?
I know she doesn't even drink coffee. I mean, I'm not the type to hang out in Starbucks. Not at
Yeah.
all because I don't drink coffee. But here I am. I'm reviewing coffee. Kasi what got me into coffee naman is I was so curious about yung mga coffee daw na lasang blueberry. It was so mind-blowing for me.
Yeah.
Parang, oh, may ganon.
May
So, yun,
ganon.
I started learning. And yun, yeah, there is. I once tasted this amazing coffee. It's so expensive, 2,000 plus per 250 grams. But it was competition coffee. And it tasted naturally like peaches. As in, no flavoring, no sugar, no nothing. Just the bean, black coffee. Pero ang bango, it's like peaches.
Kira is saying hi here. She's one of our
Kira
ancient,
Ramirez.
Yes! ancient
Hello!
blogging peer yan.
I
So,
plugged this sa lahat ng account ko. Caticorn, everything. So, everybody's here.
oo nga eh. So, Kira is also like, she has her parang eco
Yes.
brand, diba?
Correct.
Rinse and repeat. So, it's so nice to see people from our batch like really going out exploring and doing their own thing, no? So, yun
We've
nga.
grown. Yung batch
We-
natin, we've grown, di ba? From beauty blog. From top blogs lang ang problema natin noon.
Topblogs.ph
Oo.
na may virus,
Yun lang
na may
yun.
virus na, so kailangan tanggalin.
Yun lang yung concern natin noon, di ba?
Oo.
Ngayon, we've panned out to so many
Oh
interests.
my God, we're big girls na. No, okay, so that's so fun. Like, she has her own thing going on, and you have your own thing going on. But coming back to the silversmithing, Chenabu, okay, soon you're gonna have your modern silversmithing classes with Caticorn Dreams. Watch out for that in their Patreon. But if you want like more regular updates, you can catch it on Instagram. But you also mentioned to me, in case you forgot, I'm going to remind you kasi sobrang dami mo. You have too
Bago
many
sinabi.
events going on.
Oo.
I'm going to also remind you, aren't you on track to being a gemologist?
Yes, so yun. That is like not spin-off. Actually, nauna yun eh. Nauna yung goal na yun. I wanted to be in gemology. Kaya ako nagsisilversmithing. Kasi it's part of the jewelry.
Para may lalagyan yung gems mo.
Correct. So I also wanted to pick my own. I'm very much into here. So I'm very much into stones talaga since I was young. As in, and these two actually are my designs, by the way. This one is my design. So I had this made with a local smith a few years ago. This one is made by my teacher. So I bought the
Mm.
stone and then I had my
Ganda.
teacher make it for me. So yun,
Oo.
I really was into jewelries and more on stone setting. Yun talaga yung gusto kong aralin, yung stone setting.
Oo.
Pero hindi pa na ano. Mas mahirap kasi yun. But this is the first ever jewelry that I made. Ito yung inaral ko sa Korea. Kulit, no? Cat. It's
Ang ganda.
handmade. Fine silver. So, yun
Shucks.
din. Hindi siya
Oo.
nagta-tarnish. Never had to polish it. It's fine silver.
Story mo
Um,
naman yan later. Gusto ko mong closer look.
Sige.
After the
Sige.
podcast.
Sige.
Okay, so, do you have, okay, did I miss anything? We're kind of winding down to the end of the show. If you are live right now and have questions for Jirbie, we can take it, guys. But as we're winding down, did I forget anything else? What else is going on and what's up? What's your upcoming classes and events that we can join?
Okay, so ngayon, my focus is I'm building, well, actually, I've already built it. I am having my emulsions masterclass. So that's the first exclusively Patreon run classes. It's a series of classes. So it runs for 5 months. Medyo matagal siya kasi maraming
Wow.
coverage. Kaya siya
Oo.
masterclass kasi hindi lang siya one-time workshop. In that masterclass, you will learn how to make your own lotions, your creams. You can learn how to make your own gels, gel to milk, oleo gel formulation. Beauty talaga, beauty formulations. Kasi one of the
Wow.
facets of aromatherapy that I picked, yung niche ko in aromatherapy is beauty formulations, botanical beauty formulations, and animal aromatherapy. Marami kasing umbrella yung aromatherapy, di ba? So
Mm-mm.
ako, I've focused talaga my learning in formulations, in safety, in animal aromatherapy, among all the other things about aromatherapy. So yun, emulsions kasi is parang level 2 siya. Hindi siya normally tinitake ng mga beginner aromatherapist, 'di ba? Pag aromatherapy parang blend-blend ng oil, roller blend,
Puro
gano'n
oil
lang.
lang.
Or facial oils lang, gano'n. So
Oo.
I wanted to offer something new. I think it's the first here in the Philippines. So wala pang ibang nagtuturo ng oleo gels, gel to milk, even the raw mats I had to import everything. So yun. So that's my other big project.
Galing.
And
Oo.
then after yan, pag natapos ko na yan, yung gagawin ko na yung modern silversmithing. So that's 3 months down the line kasi matatapos yung emulsions ko by October. But I will finish everything perhaps by August. So perhaps by August, September, I'm able to start na yung modern silversmithing class. But
Okay.
in the meantime, you can follow Philippine Metal Clay Crafters Group. So that is where I will post updates about the modern silversmithing.
Okay. So, okay, grabe. This has been so inspiring because I think a lot of women in our age are actually like crafters at heart. Eh. Alam mo yun? Marami tayong gustong buting-buting te. So, it's been really inspiring hearing about you, how you're able to live this life and actually like be a successful not only workshop facilitator but in each of the things that you do talagang pa-advance ka ng pa-advance. So you didn't actually stop at certified aromatherapist. You are doing more with your aromas by turning them into emulsion. So grabe, it's like a Caticorn world.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a dream, Caticorn World.
Caticorn group of companies.
Girl, nung
Bongga!
in-apply ko nga sa DTI yan, gusto ko ng Caticorn Enterprise. Bawal daw gamitin yung word na enterprise. Binawal nila.
Bakit?
Bawal
Why
daw. Ano
daw?
siya? I think
May
may
specific use?
no, I think bawal kasi parang may IPO ba? Parang gano'n. Basta hindi na siya pwedeng gamitin ng everyone. I think
Ah,
years back pwede. But when I got my, Caticorn is also a DTI registered company and, we pay our taxes. We are also registered in BIR.
we love
Legit na
that.
legit siya, guys.
We love to hear
Uh,
that.
yun, hindi pinayagan yung enterprise. So that's a dream eh. Kasi ang dami kong interests. It's
Oo.
not bound to be in one category. Kaya gusto ko sana enterprise. Pero hindi pinayagan when I was applying for the business team. So, we had other names. But, ayun. So, yun lang. I'm so happy to share my story. My eccentricity. And I hope I brought you guys laughter today.
Ah, medyo, ang laki ng bibig ko sa mga ibang portions. I'm gonna need to put like paano ba? May feature ba na may
Sensor.
sticker? Oh,
Oo,
ang laki.
may
Parang
emoji.
kita yata yung tonsils ko eh. Parang pwede na akong iswab. Thank you so much, Jirbie, for sharing everything. Like, we learned so much from you, and it's really, really so inspiring to see how you went from what you thought was your corporate dream and down to an even more, I'm sure it was fulfilling before, but now an even more fulfilling life path for you. Before we leave, you can just, invite everyone to follow you on your socials or your Patreon. Go.
All right. Thanks, Del. So, if you want to follow my personal Instagram, that's Jlean, Jlea, and then E85. That's my personal. And I post there all my kaweirdohan, all my interests. So, it's a hodgepodge of things. Yun din, alam mo, isa rin siya sa parang ano ko, na wala talaga akong theme. Kasi ang dami ko talagang iniisip at ang dami kong interest. I was once told before na parang, oh, your YouTube channel has to be specific, ganyan.
Niche
For you to be
dapat.
able, for you to be able to monetize it agad. But, I'm the living proof na hindi kailangan. Kasi yung YouTube ko rin, kung ano-ano rin, kung ano lang trip ko talaga, it's me, basically. The authenticity there is me and whatever I like, whatever I want to share, whatever my interest for that moment. So yun, follow me on my Instagram, JDN85. In all the other platform, you can just search for Couch Wasabi. I'm known as Couch Wasabi. All my personal things are there. And then if you want to learn more about Caticorn Dreams, which is my baby, just search for Google Caticorn Dreams. Sorry, Google Caticorn Dreams. Everything will pop up anyways. So yun, it's easy naman to find me. Either Couch Wasabi or Caticorn Dreams.
Vlogger yan eh. So, she's search engine optimized. Ayan yung mga problema natin before. So,
Correct.
at least we're applying yung mga pakulu sa current careers natin.
Correct.
Okay. We have like just before we go, we just have like some feedback here. Vanessa is saying your cat is so cute. Ano ba name niya ulit? Sorry.
Thank you. She is in SAF. So, meron din silang Instagram. Tuti the cat. I know, it's Tuti and Friends na pala kasi marami na sila.
Tuti and Friends.
Tutti, and Friends. So, andun lahat. I have 55 rescued cats.
Oh my God! Wait, it's with your house? It's at your house, all of them?
Na all of them. Roaming around.
Caticorn Rescue Center ka na rin
Yes.
ba?
Actually, yung Caticorn Dreams, tinayo siya para matustusan yung pagkain ng pusa ko. So, really for me.
Oh, okay.
And, so by the way, when we created Caticorn, we allocate part of our sales talaga to donate to animal welfare too. So, it's actually,
okay.
everything about it is passion project talaga siya.
Oo. So, guys, I think today we learned a lot of valuable lessons. Wag pakipot. Wag kayong pakipot as we learn from Jirbie. Leave where you don't grow. If opportunities are being denied from you, don't be afraid to just leave and do what you want. You can always say that you're entering the family business if you feel shy.
Kung hindi, sabihin mo, gonna study.
Magma-masters ako.
Yan, practical tips.
Girl,
nung nag-resign ako, yung mga XPNG colleagues ko, ako rin ang takbuhan kung magre-resign na sila.
so sila nagpa-advise na, anong sinabi mo?
Resign, coach!
Kung may job coach, Jirbie is also the resign coach naman.
Resign coach, guys. Hire me.
Okay, consultation fee, just DM her on Instagram. You can get her full rates. Okay, and finally, the last lesson. I think I like this one the most because hindi siya negative lang. It's also like, how to grow positively. So the only limitation in life is yourself. You can be hikain but have like a cat rescue center or be a vape vlogger, and you can be a non-coffee... a diver.
Swim.
Hindi swimmer at may hika pa. So yun guys, like really like do what you want and just dive in.
Dive in, yes.
Thank you so much, Jirbie, for all of your wonderful insights today. You may catch this episode tomorrow. It will be posted tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Spotify and all of your major podcast platforms. Thanks everyone for spending the afternoon with us. I hope you all had fun.
Thank you.
Bye.